How to grow and care for carnations the right way. Sidegardening.com. Growing carnations, Dianthus Caryophyllus, in your garden or pots or containers is a simple activity. What it takes is dedication and time. If you have not been growing them the right way, they may not flourish and may be much smaller and less attractive. Why carnation? Carnations are one of the most beautiful flowers you can grow. They are easy to grow, and they're one of the best flowers to bring indoors during the winter months because they show off their best indoors. In addition to growing carnations indoors, you can also grow them outside your home. Carnations thrive in both hot and cooler weather, so you don't have to worry too much about what the temperature is going to be when you're planting them. You can plant carnations in hanging baskets, window boxes, and pots. Just make sure you water them appropriately. The best time to plant carnations is during the spring and summer months. However, you may also plant them in late fall right before it freezes. It only takes 3 to 4 weeks before you start seeing beautiful carnation flowers. If you are going to plant carnations, you should be mindful about the kind of soil you use. Ensure that soil used are rich and fertile. Selecting the best varieties. One of the most popular varieties of carnations is the pink carnation. You can buy them from nurseries, but they are relatively more expensive, which is why you may want to consider growing them yourself. Other varieties of carnations includes red, white, and orange carnations. It is important to understand that carnations need bright light to thrive and will not do well if they are placed in a dark area. Growing carnation, the first thing you need to do is get a packet of carnation seeds. Before you start planting, ensure your planted seeds are placed in the correct soil type. Use the right soil type so that the roots of the plant can easily spread into the soil to obtain nutrients. Use the proper fertilizer to grow healthy and robust plants. To have healthy plants, you need to feed them well and be sure to water the plants at least 3 to 4 times a week, especially during the hot summer months. Don't wait for your plant to start wilting due to lack of watering. Caring for carnations. To keep the carnations healthy, remember that they require good soil, water, light, and warm temperatures. We should not overwater carnations because they will not grow and will develop root rot. The best way to water carnations is to put them in a pot with drainage holes so that they can soak up enough water but release the excess amount through the drainage. Strive to water your plant a couple of times a week, but ensure you don't leave your plant sitting in excessive amount water for prolonged periods. Also, ensure that the carnations receive plenty of light. If they are not exposed to sufficient light, they will not grow well. To propagate carnation, place a mixture of equal parts vermiculite and peat moss in a plastic container, or pot. Fill the container with water and add 3 to 4 cups of soil mix to help keep the roots moist. The soil mix should be porous enough to allow a few carnation seeds to sink. Cover the container with a plastic bag to maintain soil moisture and place it in a warm location, like a sunny windowsill. Carnation seeds will usually sprout within 7 to 10 days. Once the carnations bloom, remove the plastic bag. If you are looking for color variation, you may want to sow seeds of varieties you desire. When planting a flower garden, make sure that your plants are spaced out and are receiving plenty of light. Ensure to also provide them with fertilizer and water. Be careful about what you put in your garden soil, as some chemical fertilizers can harm your plants if not used correctly. Use only organic fertilizer and compost if possible. When you're growing your carnation plants, keep the following things in mind. Watering. Make sure you water your carnation plants every other day. Temperature. If planted indoors, ensure that your carnations are kept at room temperature. Sunlight. If your plant don't get enough sunlight, your carnation plants will not grow well. Fertilizer. Use organic fertilizers or plant food if possible. Your plant will appreciate it. Potting soil. Use potting soil that has been amended with vermiculite. This material helps to aerate soil while simultaneously retaining water and nutrients. Pest and disease. When you're growing carnations, you want to watch out for a couple of pests. The first pest is aphids, tiny insects that produce a sticky substance that clings to your stems and flowers. They will suck all the moisture from your plants, leaving you with dry stems and leaves that are no longer healthy. Mealybugs. These are oval-shaped insects that live in groups called colonies. They eat the plant's leaves and flower buds and leave behind a powdery substance that makes your plant's blooms look like cotton balls. General care tips. Carnations like to be in excellent soil, so buy quality soil, or use compost made from kitchen waste. It could be an ideal mix of manure, green waste, dried leaves, grass clippings, and other garden wastes. You should be able to use a garden fertilizer when feeding your carnations, but avoid the use chemical fertilizers. If you choose to use chemical fertilizers, ensure that you buy a fertilizer that contains only the nutrients your plant needs. Carnations does not like to be overwatered. It would be best to water them regularly, at least 2 to 3 times per week. Don't let your soil dry out. Your carnations needs balanced nutrients for them to flourish. Carnations can be grown indoors during the winter to avoid damaging freezing temperatures. It would be best to trim your carnations back at least once a year or after flowering. Trimming will promote fresh new growth and allow your flowers to grow bigger and more attractive. Carnations will not tolerate frost or freezing weather. If your carnations freeze, you may need cut back damaged stems and leave and to promote new growth. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more informative videos.